So, I've decided after so many days of avoiding my responsibilities by obsessing over the Peacemaker and SCP and FNAF and more FNAF and more FNAF. Security breaches ruined me. I thought I'd return to my natural habitat of this. So yeah, I'm back. I'm gonna react to the next Magnus Archives episodes. I feel bad because I'm like reacting to more and more of them on stream, so it's like I'm having the full episodes on my channel, which I'm still like pretty confident that people would rather watch the actual official thing than like the very quiet audio version that plays in my ears as I sit there going like but I'm still worried, like when I get to the point where I'm like reacting to every episode, it's gonna be like I have the entire series on my channel, which I don't want because Rusty Quill deserves all the streams. Go on Spotify and stream them. Buy the things on Apple. They deserve the money. It's such a good show. But yeah, I'm so sad. Last episode, I forgot what it was even called, but I didn't get to react to. I reacted to it at my school inside inside the empty cafeteria. I sat there reacting to it, going like, "Oh my god!" I was going like the entire time. And it's all because of the people who are actually at the Institute gang. Yeah, because John's on leave, which I forgot about, like, immediately after I watched the episode. And then so when I watched the next episode, I was like, John's not at the Institute. And I was like, why? And I was like, oh, wait, he's on leave. I should have known that. He gave... I was called fucking Elias fucking Magnus. The Reddit's getting to me. I'm looking at the old Reddit post. I've already talked about this. Like the Reddit post that came out like as these episodes were coming out for the first time. So I'm not looking at spoilers. I'm looking at like I really love doing this. It's one of my things, my brain things. One of my awful brain things where I have to like document or like keep. I really like having access to like historical records that like from like a couple of years ago of like how fandoms reacted and thought and theorized when things were coming out. I really like having those, and so I'm so glad that the Reddit still does this because I can't do it on Tumblr because there's no fucking time feature. I can do it on Twitter, but it never the episode discussions never show up. I hate it. What was that face I made? It was like so. I can't replicate it because I'm like looking at myself quizzically. But yeah, I'm looking at things. If everyone's theorized, it's because of that one. Everyone was theorizing this beforehand, and I was like, really? But then like fucking Sarah Baldwin. I mean, fake Sarah Baldwin, not Sarah. Okay, it's not Sarah Baldwin. It's that thing is adios or something into a book or something. I don't. Okay. So yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. She said she was like, oh, so he's going by Elias now. It's like, I thought it was established that this man worked like in a different department, like Elias Bouchard, like he Bouchard. I don't know. Okay. I thought it was like they mentioned that he used to work in another department before he got promoted, like back in the flustered old boss, like Elias days, which I was like, ugh, Elias. He only cares about his funding. But back in those days, I'm pretty sure they mentioned that. Well, that Elias got promoted. then how can he be like someone else? Like how could he be like that seems to imply that like this person, this guy or whatever, has run this institute forever and he's just adopting new identities over time. But like, how can that be true if Elias got promoted to this position? I swear it was mentioned before that he used to work somewhere else and he got promoted. Interesting. But yeah, like I don't know. I was gonna talk about fucking Martin being cool, Tim being very cool all the time. Tim's like the best. Like, why is he kind of the best? Like, I don't know why he's the best like that. He doesn't have to be the best like that, you know. I'm sorry. I bring these bits too far. It's awful. I'll look up a summary so that I can talk about it effectively. All these SCP articles open. Well, same with all these fucking no. I need to get out of the Japanese class. I'm about to do Japanese homework actually. So that's why the title says that. I noticed like that. I don't know if it's just because there was like a part of the title in Japanese, but it seemed like that vlog got like less views or something. Maybe because it's recent, or maybe because it had Japanese in the title and people were like, okay, I will get to, where is it? Lights Out. Yes. Yeah, like Elias is telling Martin to read statements, and Martin's just doing it because he's given the thing what it wants, and Martin's reacting very well, and not well. I mean, he doesn't seem like he's having a good time, but he's reacting very cooperatively to someone who found out as someone who found out that he was being held hostage basically, and he's under control of a giant god power in the sky. That's an eye, by the way. I keep doing this. It doesn't make any. It doesn't mean anything. It's an eye. Okay. Tim worries that the archives are evil. He doesn't worry that the archives are evil. He says that the archives are evil because that's just how it is. He worries and he says, doing what it wants makes us evil." Tim's actor is very good. I really like Tim's character. He's like, he tells her how it is. He's like, he tries to like get out of here. You know, he's very. Tim's really good on me. Maybe that's just because of the absence of Sasha. Missing Sasha moment. Oh yeah, fuck. They talked about John. Anytime any character talks about John, I'm like, it's just so good to hear like the people's perspectives on him because he's such an interesting character. He's such a good character, and like people talking. I love when characters talk about other characters because that's where you like really get to know the characters. You know, like hearing other people's views on them is always like what really makes a character feel like a real person. You know. Maybe I'm insane, but I think that's how it goes usually. But yeah, Tim said he tried to talk to John, and John fucking turned on a tape recorder, and he like fucking argued with him and like ran away. It's like, ugh. Did I mention this? No, I don't know, cause it got me. I think I thought about this in the bathroom when I was taking a shower, but it was that like Elias said like I think it was it Melanie? Was it Basila? Was it Daisy? It was no. Was it just Martin? I don't know. Who was it? No, yeah, it was Daisy. It was during the interviews, during like the beginning of fucking season 3. Like he was like, he'll want to hear it when he gets back. Like, my stream just went red and like, let me check on that. Stream going good? Okay, it's back to green. he said John will wanna listen to those recordings when he gets back. John will want it on tape. Yeah, that's basically what it was like. He was like, John will want it on tape. Like, did he say that because he knows like John would want it on tape, or does he know that because like he knows that John will have to want it on tape? Like, not John himself, but like this force that's like infecting him, basically, like changing like his mind and stuff, like with this whole tape stuff. Because like we could see it like since like the end of season 1, like John like really wants stuff on tape. like at that point he's like, tape recorders, everyone take a tape recorder. like and like I felt like that wasn't of his own will in some ways. Like, that wasn't something he decided for himself completely. Like, I just like things on tape. Like, it seems like there's something going on. I think I talked about this. Was it in my season 1 finale reaction? I have no clue. I do not watch them. It would disturb me greatly. Yeah, I like to watch some clips of stuff, like when I'm react to big things, like, but like not my discussions, because these are just to get my thoughts out, you know. So yeah, I was thinking, like, is that because it's such a weird thing to think about? Is it because he thinks John, like, as the person would want it, or like John the archivist would want it? Like, he knew that like, I guess my question is, did Elias know that John would want it because he knows what John wants, or did Elias know that John would want it because he knows what every archivist wants eventually, or is forced to want, which is like, my mind, it's leaking out of my ears. Okay. Yeah, more about the episode. Oh, Tim was so good in that episode. Tim was just so good. I want to listen to every single one of Tim's lines. Tim's lines were so good. Oh yeah. Okay, this is the line. Okay, Merton was like, "Oh, Elias is trying to get me to get you to record some tapes," and Tim's like, "No." and then he said something like, "It's like, I wish Elias would stop being like a freaking a psychopath boss." like it was like. I love how he can deliver things so like kind of like sarcastically, but like almost cheerily, but also like scathingly angry. Like, Tim is so good. I love Tim. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and Martin understands John's awful worldviews, where he's like, keeping away from them will keep them safe. And like, John, please just talk to these people. You're going insane. Not as bad as season 2, but still awful. Like, literally, they know everything now. Just be honest with them. Like, literally communicate with them. Like, it's not that hard. I mean, it's that hard when you're Jonathan Sims and you have like a whole complex going on, and where you blame yourself for people's deaths and stuff. No. It said Martin said he talked to John and about something, but it was like weird or something. I don't know. I'll re-listen to the dialogue basically at this point. Oh yeah, this is the Maxwell Rayner Sandman episode. Sandman. Melanie tries to kill Elias. I remember that. And it was so bad. It was really, really bad. Like almost inexcusably bad. Melanie! That was so awful. Like, the fact that she risked all their lives too. I guess she didn't believe him, like he said, but like, really? Like, that's a big risk, Melanie. Like, even if it worked, like, why would he Elias says that he's trying to help his colleagues, not harm them. Well, I believe that because they're part of your little group, I guess. but like, how about the world as a whole? I don't know. Because you seem to be helping the world, as in you're stopping the stranger apocalypse, but you also, I don't know, you live related to one of these entities, and entities always like, there's always something that's freaking awful to do with them. What's something that we know that's associated with the eye? The only statement that comes to mind is the one with the behind you. I looked the wrong way and in front of my thumb. The behind you episode. It was the one where they looked in the mirror and then they saw eyes and then they felt like they were being watched all the time, and then they started trying to burn papers that would go to the Magnus Archives. I keep on saying the way that whenever I say the Magnus Archives, it sounds wrong. To the Institute, the Magnus Institute. The Magnus Archives is the title of the show. I don't think anyone in the show has said the Magnus Archives. They've said the Magnus Institute and they've said the Archives, but they have not said the Magnus Archives. I'm making up in-universe terms now. It's just that title. Okay. I'm going to the transcript for this episode. I want to see the epic stuff that frickin' that Tim says. John's too inconsistent. Tim said, and I suggest he. I know it was the magic descriptor that got me, because I always call them magic people and magic powers, especially with John's about. Oh my god, I always say that they're like they have magic, like just because. And I suggest he not be a scary magic psychopath. Whoops. Too late. Tim is so done. He's gone. Like, he literally does not care. He's literally so done. He's literally being held captive. This is I love Tim. This is not a good situation for him. Scary magic psychopath. True. Perfect descriptor. Perfect. Tim is perfect. He's just perfect. Okay. Tim does not ponder that the place is evil. He says, this place is evil. Yeah, dude. Oh, frick! I forgot! Martin, like, talked directly to God. Martin literally, like, finished his statement and went like, is this what you want? This is what you want, isn't it? He, like, literally talked to that giant eyeball in the sky and said... And I'm like, oh my god, Martin, this thing controls your life right now, like your life and death. I'm scared for you. I have no idea, like, frick. Oh yeah, there was that weird, like, there was the Martin. There's so many cool little lines with the interactions. I feel like I'm missing everything. It's not everything. I'm just missing something every time I watch an episode because of the cool little interactions. Like, he says he didn't tell John about the statements because he didn't want to make John jealous. It's like, I do not want Jonathan Sims to be jealous of other people reading statements. I do not want Jonathan Sims to become statement Smeagol. my precious statements. No. Martin says, like, okay, I'll talk forever about this episode. Okay, I won't listen to the audio again. I'm reading the transcript. Yeah, Martin says, Martin talks about Jonathan's thing, Jonathan, I have to say the whole name, Jonathan Sims. Martin talks about Jonathan Sims' whole thing with, like, trying to keep his distance. You can't be around me. I'm too dangerous, like, deal. And Tim just straight up says he's an idiot. And it's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he brought up the door. Like, they freaking, yeah, that's a good point, Tim. Like, Jonathan Sims knew about the doors, like, about freaking Michael. literally got stabbed by the man and told everyone that he fucking like cut himself or something. It was just stupid. Like, come on, man. And then literally he told them nothing, and then they walked into a door and got trapped there for like a bit. Like that's a good point, Tim. You literally got screwed over. Yeah, ignorance doesn't save anyone. Talking like an eye person, Tim. Talking like an eye person. Knowing things. Imagine knowing things. Imagine being obsessed with knowing things. Imagine having knowing things be your entire personality. I'm looking at you, eye man. Dang, Tim blamed him for Sasha's death a little bit. And then Tim brings up the fact again that like that John was the one who recruited him for this job, and still blames him for it, which I don't know. Like, I don't think you can blame John for that because he didn't know. But rip. Yeah, fucking the door closes. Oh, I thought he. I thought he turned on the tape recorder to read a statement, but 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 Tim leaves, and then he notices that the tape recorder is still running, and not still the tape recorder has started running, and then and then that's when he's like. He like yells at God. He says, "Screw you!" Like, what the heck? I'm trying to have a conversation. He said, if you're that eager, fine. Like, this is such a cool dynamic. I love this concept. I love the story concept. Beloved Magnus Archives. Okay, I'll literally watch episode 99 and 100 right now. We all ignore the pit. I already finished that episode. Lights out. Dust to dust.
Hi everyone, Ben here.
Hi, Ben.
I'd just like to take a moment to thank some of our patrons. Jeff Goodhind,
Okay.
Raven, Ryan Byrne, Rachel Brownhill, Chad Wiley,
Trying to fix the volume.
Doug Bostic, Cooper Jukes, Jay
Okay,
Hodson,
seems fine.
Mark H.
That was it's a very loud click.
We really appreciate your support. If you'd like to join them, go to www.patreon.com/Rusty Quill and take a look.
Sorry. The hell, I skipped that Suki music accidentally. I'll be doing Japanese almost. I will never change my title structure. I might, but I'm not for now. I like letting you know that I'm going to be doing things during these, because the point of podcasts, I mean, podcasts are a good storytelling media, but also I like...
95222000.
Gertrude?
Robert
Hello.
E. Geiger. Incident occurred in Boise City, Oklahoma, April
I guess
1935.
I sent this to,
Victim's
because
name given as Stefan
he has
Rocha.
everything.
Statement given 20th of February,
All the Gertrude tapes were...
1952.
I don't know, how did we get the new... We got them from, like,
September
the evidence
2007.
thing.
Gertrude Robinson recording. I read somewhere once I was the first man to use the term Dust Bowl. Now that's not so. Maybe all across the house were bad days. Worse than anyone knows. Did my best to spread the word. Filed my copy with the AP, but there was plenty I never did find the words for. There were things in the dust that I never told to a soul. That's why I decided to step in on you folks. I still wish there was a place like this back home, but the way things are going, they'd be up in front of Congress, likely as not, so maybe it's for the best. You know much about dust pneumonia? Don't know why you would do, really. There isn't much of it about these days. Wasn't back then either, at least before the storms came. Then there was plenty. The name makes it sound more complicated than it is. You see, dust pneumonia is just a medical way of saying your lungs are full of mud. Too much goes in, you see, and it clogs up all the bits
pneumonia-esque
to clear them out. There's fever, difficulty breathing, infection. The dust mixes with the moisture of your insides, and soon enough, you're drowning. Your lungs packed solid with mud and mucus.
So this is
Awful thing to happen
dang.
to anybody, but
We're
that's
seeing a
what-
lot of earth claustrophobia, the ground, or however Jonathan Sims described it. Trapped underground, dirt digging, death episodes. I forgot how to fucking explain it. Okay, we're seeing a lot of ground monster episodes. Okay, door scares me. Okay. For the time being, until it gets a name, I will call it the ground monster. Okay. Well, I don't know why I like the name the Maw. I'm a fool. Like, people on the Reddit, like, have tried to name these things before they even get the names, and it ends up sounding ridiculous, because, like, they were naming, like, frickin', like, the frickin', I don't know, they were naming, like, the stranger, the like, I don't know, something, they, like, once I know the names, like, the names that they give them, like, sound so stupid. Like, the desolation names, like, I don't know, it's just, like, the fire, the flame, or, like, I don't know what the heck they were saying. The desolation sounds so much cooler. But, what was the thing? I forgot what I was saying in the middle of saying it. Yeah, I don't know why I like the Maw, because it's like, it's like literally got it from Little Nightmares, but the Maw, the ship, has nothing to do with, like, the ground. Like, I don't know. Like, it's the opposite. It's a ship in the water. What is a Maw? I like, when I hear Maw, I picture, like, eating for some reason. Yeah. That's why it's called the Maw, because there's a bunch of eating people on the ship in Little Nightmares. That makes sense. I'm so sorry. That's why it's called the Maw, because there's greed, like the mouth or gullet of a greedy person. That's literally the theme of Little Nightmares. Oh, that makes sense. But when I picture Maw, but I hear Maw, I picture this giant thing swallowing, like, and that's, like, reminds me of the ground stories, I guess, because, like, the way they describe, like, the underground, like, the fucking being buried alive thing, like, it reminds me, it like, feels like they're being swallowed, you know? Like, I feel like that was also mentioned in Lightner's tale of how his library was invaded. I feel like, did he say that someone was swallowed by the ground? Something like that. Dang. I remember back in those days when I was like, dang, the ground one sounded unfamiliar when I was hearing Lightner's statement. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, we're getting a lot of ground. Like, Elias is sending us a lot of ground-related little thingies. Like, you know, it's interesting. Like, what does the ground monster have to do with the unknowing, you know? Old lady and boy in car with blue eyes, I think. I don't know.
Dust storms were great chunks of earth torn up and
Earth.
hurled
The
across
Earth,
the open
that's
plain,
your name.
desperate to
Evil
find
person
some
name, the
poor,
Earth.
unsheltered
Okay.
throat and climb inside.
Ewie.
They buried you alive without even giving you the courtesy of getting you below the ground.
Need to
I saw
laugh,
so many
Gertrude.
choking
Statement
farmers, their
giver
dirt-streaked
inside
faces
Gertrude
seemed to blend together,
possessing her spirit.
watching as their livelihoods evaporated with the rain, as their farms, their homes, their lives collapsed
No.
into dirt. It was all a long sepia blur, weather-beaten faces caked in
Sepia.
that same
Cool
patina
color.
of misery and grit. All except for Stefan. Stefan Brotchen was, to all appearances, much the same as any other Okie farmer, strongly built with a mess of short, curly, blonde hair and a round, smiling face.
Blondes.
But his eyes were different. There was something there. I was never quite sure what, but they had a depth, a quiet intensity to them that struck me the first time I saw him. I'd been gathering comment for an AP article on the latest dust storms to hit the area. There had been a lot of interest nationally after one dust storm made it all the way to Washington, and my editor was keen to get some comment from the people worst hit. So, naturally, I ended up in Boise City. Well, there was always something odd about that town. Something about it at odds with the land it sat on, challenged the wide stretches of nothing. I guess that's not a surprise, looking back. I did some research on the place afterwards, you see. Did you know that Boys City was founded by fraud? I mean, literal, send you to prison fraud. Yeah, back in 1908, 3 men decided to start selling the deeds to land they didn't own. They printed up hundreds of brochures. Come to scenic Boys City, tree-lined boulevards, all the amenities, even a railroad station. All ready and waiting for brave souls to head out there and settle. And people bought it. Almost 3,000 of them. Of course, when they finally arrived to this fabled town, there was absolutely nothing there. Just empty, waiting earth. They didn't even own the plots of land they'd been sold. But they stayed, and they built a town. Not a great town by any stretch, not even a good town, truth be told, but there it was, in defiance of all good sense. One of the men who settled in the newly formed Boys City was Stefan Brochen's father. He was long dead by the time we met his son. My photographer, a small man named Harry Eisenhard, had been told about the Brochen farm when asking about places around the area hit bad by the storms. Stefan's fields had nothing left but dry earth, they told us. Farmhouse stripped almost bare by the harsh winds, his livestock dead and already half buried. His family gone. Never found out more than that. Just gone. When we pulled up that Sunday, the place was everything we'd been told and more. We'd see the top of wheels and farm equipment poking up through the ground, until we realized it wasn't the ground, just a good 3 feet of newly fordden dirt half burying the plows and wagons. I saw what must once have been a cow, covered from the neck up in coarse and clinging dust. Harry and I had wrapped our handkerchiefs over our faces, as the men back in town had told us, but the air was already thick, and I could hear Harry coughing beside me. I'd seen a few victims of the dust pneumonia by this point, and the sound of his breathing made me press the cloth close to my face and offer up a silent prayer. Stefan did not wear a cloth across his face when he came out to meet us, and I could see the fine particles collecting in his hair and the corners of his eyes. He smiled warmly and waved us over. I've tried in the years since to remember if there was anything behind that smile, anything dark or secret that I might have overlooked. There was nothing. The soft, friendly voice was, as far as I can tell, genuine, and as Stefan Brochen sat there in his small, dusty kitchen, telling us his misfortunes, there was no clue in his face as to what must have been going on inside him. His story was not unusual, and I'm sure that if you hunted down a copy of the Lubbock Evening Journal from that week, there'd be most of it in there. Crops dying, soil parched, and a farm on the brink of ruin, all ruled over by that desperate, empty hope of rain. He never mentioned his family, and I never thought to ask, though the house was clearly far too big for Stefan to live there alone. He offered us a drink at one point, just water, but I couldn't bring myself to accept. I just had this image playing through my mind over and over again. He stands up, walks over, pulls out a bottle of thick, flowing mud, opens it and pours it down his throat with a smile on his face. Just my imagination, I told myself, just letting the dust get to me. It only took an hour or two before I decided I had enough material for the story, and I stood up and thanked him for his time. Harry did the same, and I shook Stefan by the hand. As I touched his skin, I almost pulled my hand away. It was so hot. It was a dry, feverish heat, and I looked at his face and saw for the first time the fierce, flushed redness, the forehead slick with sweat. His chest started to convulse, and he doubled over, spluttering out a clod of pulpy brown sludge onto the wooden floor. I started to ask if he was okay, but Harry tugged on my arm, gesturing outside with an almost wild urgency. It all seemed to be happening so fast I could barely register what was going on, or at least until I got outside and looked west.
Hello.
The vast
Hello.
roll.
I'm watching the Magnus Archives.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Black clouds stretched before us as far as we could see. It was coming for us with such a speed that there was a part of me that immediately knew, despite all logic, that it was trying to kill me, and me alone. It was the worst dust storm I had ever seen, and it promised to blot out everything. I ran back inside to warn Stefan and ask if he had anywhere we could wait out the storm, but I found him lying on the ground. He was face down, a thin trickle of dirt oozing slowly from his mouth and nose. I called to Harry, told him Stefan needed help, but he could barely hear me over the wind, which was now so fierce that it seemed to drown everything else out. When I finally made him understand, he seemed none too keen to drive through the storm and warn me the engine would clog before we got halfway back to Boys City. I said we had no choice but to try. If we didn't, then Stefan was already dead. We covered his face with a cloth and carried him out and into our small car, laying him into the back as gently as we could. The wind was so sharp it felt like it was trying to strip the flesh from my skull. I had to hold my hand in front of my eyes to keep out the dirt that was whipping around at 40 miles an hour. Even with my handkerchief covering my mouth, I could feel the dust creeping in, forming a damp, cloying paste between my teeth, and the storm hadn't even hit yet. I climbed into the driver's seat while Harry scuttled round to the passenger side, and with Stefan laid across the back, we turned and began the drive back towards town, trying to convince ourselves we had any hope of outrunning the storm. We did not. It bore down on us like the judgment from heaven, and in less than a moment the sun was gone and the sky was black. I tried to keep driving, but I could hear the engine choking, spluttering, and finally coming to an end. It's hard to describe just how dark it is in the middle of a dust storm. It's not just the lack of sun, but that no light can penetrate more than a few feet before the swirling, opaque cloud kills it dead. It's more than enough to panic. So we
My OBS
just sat there,
disconnected.
what felt like silence
Okay.
for over an hour, trying not to think about the storm or the poor Oklahoma
Okay,
farmers
I just need to
dying
check. Okay.
on our back seat.
These people are stuck in a car and the
Just
tornado escape was
waiting.
stolen, but they failed.
And at some point, Stefan
In case you
must
didn't hear.
have finally died. I know this because when he started talking to us again, there was no way he could have made those noises unless his lungs and throat were fully packed with sediment. The words were soft, insistent, and spasmed out of his dirt-clogged body like an earthquake. I don't remember what he said, not really. It only comes back to me in those quicksand dreams where I feel the earth swallowing me forever. He was making promises, I think. Promising us that when the sky fell and became an eternity of mud, he would carve out a place for us in the heart of the forever buried. He would show us the love of choke. I still couldn't see anything, but I felt his hand on my face.
I'm
hot,
watching the
dry, and
Magnus
rotten.
Archives. What are you saying?
Mommy just said she was like, tell one of your sisters to put the bunnies back inside the cage. I don't know why, because it's so morning. Maybe it's because it's gonna rain soon. I don't know.
It's gonna rain soon?
I don't know. I don't know. If
This is my phone. Where is it?
Where is it?
I'm so cold. I forced her to go outside. Let me watch my nerd show. Oh, that's gonna be so long in the VOD. I'm so sorry. I'll put this time. I'll put this time. I'll put a timestamp. Oh. Okay. I'm back. Listen to these people dying in a sandstorm and one person being creepy.
Scream, but it just let in more dust.
Ew.
Harry did scream though, and I could hear a struggle going on beside me, grunts, and the sounds of flesh striking soil. Then the sound of a car door opening and the sudden rush of wind and grit. And then it closed abruptly, and I was once again sad in the unmoving quiet of the car. Except this time I was alone. I never saw Harry Eisenhard again. When the storm finally passed, I spent hours searching for him, but he was gone. I did find the body of Stefan, though, about 20 yards away. So encrusted with dirt, he barely looked human anymore. Black Sunday, they called that storm, and Harry was a long way from its only casualty. He got lost in the shuffle, officially mourned by the staff of the Associated Press, and then never discussed again. I wish I could say more about him, but honestly, I hadn't worked with the man very much. All I know is that he was taken by Stefan Brotchen, and that it happened after Brotchen was dead, when all that made him human was suffocated, and the only thing left to move and speak inside him was that terrible killing dust. Final comments. Based on the history of Boyce City and its deceptive roots, I would perhaps have expected some aspect of the spiral to be at work here. But
Is
its
that the first
unique
name drop
position
of the
at
spiral?
center of the Dust Bowl does seem heavily to indicate another power overtly at work. I have had my suspicions about where to be focusing my efforts, and the nature of the pseudo-prophecies given by the dust inside Stefan Brotchen seems to confirm them. To that end, I've been examining fault lines and seismic data for... Oh. Hello?
Miss Robinson, I found Mr. Vargas' statement that you asked for. Well, I found the translation. I already had the original, but, you know, I didn't think you'd want it in Spanish. Unless you speak Spanish.
I do not. Thank you, Michael.
She puts on the way she...
Well, is there anything else that you needed?
She puts on the little voice. What the heck?
No, not at the moment. Thank you.
Right, well, if you need me, they're installing that climate-controlled storage, that thing, over the weekend. So I'm just getting all that together.
Yes, I remember.
Right. Well, call me if you need anything.
Thank you, Michael. I will.
The Michael thing. Why is everyone named Michael?
Right. These additional researches have further cemented my belief that North America is going to be the focal point for the buried. Now it's
The
just a
buried.
matter of narrowing down the specifics of geography, and that may just come down to monitoring the right movement of supplies and people.
Is the buried doing
Still
an
not completely
apocalypse now?
sold on the US for the hunt, but that's
The
unlikely
hunt?
to be quite
The hunt?
urgent.
The hunt?
Buried, however, I do have what I believe might be quite an effective plan forming, assuming, of course, that my suspicions about Jan Kilbride are correct.
And
that's something that should be easy
Kilbride?
enough to determine once he's back
Kilbride?
on Earth.
Where did my phone go?
Considering what's probably happened to him up there already, I feel almost bad.
She dropped so many names. Gertrude Robinson dropped so many names. What did you say?
That should be easy enough, but that's unlikely to be quite as urgent. For the buried, however, I do have what I believe might be quite an effective plan.
Did she counter every apocalypse that ever happened?
Kilbride are correct, and that's something that should be easy enough to determine once he's back on Earth.
He's back on
Considering what's
Earth.
probably happened to him up there already, I feel almost
Up there?
bad.
Wait, is that the guy
But
who's
there's
in the
10
space
years
station?
yet before I can afford a conscience.
10 years before I can. What? Hi, John. Confused.
Right.
That was Michael. It was Michael. How was it Michael?
So that was
Never.
the Michael.
Gertrude knew Michael. He was one of her assistants, but
That was
doesn't
the
make any
Michael?
sense. The thing that calls itself Michael, it doesn't seem like it was ever human. So what happened to the
That's
real-
why it was implied. That's why John implied in that episode upon the stair that these things, he mentioned Michael specifically, had at one point been human until they weren't. The fuck? We heard that Gertrude's assistants died. But I couldn't even freaking tell it was the same Michael, because it's just, all I have is to go on his voice, and like Michael literally is like 50 parts of himself layered over himself. I can't even tell. It crossed my mind, but I was like, I'm waiting, because if I do not want to be Jonathan Sims and hear the name Michael and go like, Michael, as in my Michael, and I'm like, I do not want to be the idiot that is Jonathan Sims. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop making fun of you. Okay. Oh, okay. What's happening down there? Okay. Okay, so John recognized his voice, well, I did not. It sounds a little different when he's talking like a person. Oh my god. Okay, so Gertrude, we know Gertrude's assistants died in some form or another over time. So they've been, I guess, claimed by other entities and stuff and such and other things. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Ooh. I looked at I read the beginnings of descriptions for episodes just by scrolling, and I can see that one of the statements is by Michael. I think it's 101. Oh my god, Michael. That was Michael. Oh my god. Dang, we're seeing Michael backstory. Insane in the membrane. Okay, let me check if this stream is still going. Correct. The stream is still going. Indeed. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. Mike. Okay, let's just continue.
Michael did.
So many name
I
drops.
mean, that's not really a question, is it? He's dead. And it's probably because of Gertrude.
Well,
I still can't figure out why
fuck.
she was actually
That's
on
gonna frickin' drive John even further. Like, John's like whole like, if I get close to them, they're gonna die, and it's gonna be my fault thing. Like, that's literally his whole deal. And he basically just confirmed in his head that Gertrude's assistant died because of her. John, why is it always like this? I mean, did Sasha die because of John? Not like explicitly because of John. Did she die because of the Jane Prentice attack and the table coming in? That had nothing to do with John. It was just because of the archives. I don't know. What is he that much part of the archives now?
Doesn't matter. Everyone who came close to her seems like it went badly.
John.
Her assistants, Jared, Leitner, Elias, though I don't think Gertrude has anything to do with his going rotten. But Michael... Did it take that form just to mock me? Knowing that at some point I'd look deeper into Gertrude? What the hell are you?
Oh my god, okay. Oh my god, John.
So many
He's so
of these
good.
stories, these people touched by. Once you're on the path to becoming an avatar.
I guess we're calling them avatars.
More and more
Still.
unhealthy to be around you. I think I need to.
John, did you call me? I was in the studio, but I thought I heard
No.
That wasn't you. That wasn't for you. That was just.
You're right.
Yeah.
That was just me
look,
screaming
I
at the
think-
Sure,
heavens.
you looked at
No, I'm fine.
really.
Well-
You're really
Georgie, I need to move out.
yeah, I thought you were looking for a place. You know, now you've got a salary again.
No, I mean now.
What? Now? It's like 5 in the afternoon.
Well, tomorrow, then. I don't like staying here.
Well, thanks.
You know that's not what I mean. I
John.
feel like I'm putting you in danger.
You're putting everyone in danger.
Yeah, you are. A horrible mannequin thing turned up. That's changed my life.
Told
This is my point.
to change my
I'm
life.
fine with it.
Oh yeah, George, you
Please
can't feel
apologise.
fear. I'm a fool. I'm like, no wonder.
You keep apologizing and saying you're changing, but it's all just the same. If you leave, I think it's just going to get worse, and I don't want that.
I do appreciate... I mean, I don't... Georgie, you literally can't feel fear. Are you sure that that's not...
Okay? I'm well aware of my situation. It does not make me an idiot. And it doesn't mean I've got a death wish either.
Is it... Why are you so insistent on keeping...
I had to change my life.
Because you're trying to cut yourself off, and that's really bad. Look, when's the last time you spoke
Georgie
to someone who
cares.
wasn't me?
I talked
Georgie
to
knows what's
Martin,
going on.
A few weeks
Not a
Did
good,
you
not a
talk
good
to him,
way.
Or did he talk to you while you tried to find a way to escape? Look, you're worried.
Everyone confronting Jonathan
You
Sims is
really
my
think you
favorite
turned
thing.
into
It's my
something
favorite genre of
inhuman.
podcast.
You need people
People
around you.
confronting
You need
Jonathan
anchors.
Sims.
All my anchors are just as deep in this as me.
But you still need them.
Maybe you're right.
Georgie based.
Check in properly, see if I can help with the Elias's new management style.
Threats.
Stay here. If something happened to you, or God forbid the Admiral, because I was here.
All right, fine.
The
I'm not
Admiral.
a grown-ass man.
The
You can leave,
Admiral.
Find a hotel. I can't stop you. Just
His name.
touch it, right?
Put the, why is
you
the
know,
V so
don't be a
important?
stranger.
Georgie,
Oh, come on, that was classic bar.
not in the mood.
Stop.
Excuse us. Are you Jonathan Sims? Yeah, what? Oh, shit. Miss Orsinov wants to see you. She says she changed her mind. No,
Really? That fast? I mean, it's probably been a week. Jonathan Sims is dead. Actually, it's been 2 weeks, I guess. You didn't help. Well, obviously you didn't. But Jesus. Oh my god. Oh my god. What do I even talk about? I can talk about everything. Literally every single Gertrude tape, she just like casually starts name dropping every single entity ever. Oh my god, what was it called? The Buried. The Buried. Okay. Okay. I get it. I see it. For sure. I'm talking about one Andrew Garfield scene. Okay. Okay. Dust to dust. Cool little statement about you dying in a dust storm. But it seems like, okay, Gertrude was keeping track of these events and like preventing what these groups, followers had planned, which is insane. Like, were you preventing more than just the unknowing? My god. Oh my god, okay. Statement. And then Gertrude says, final comments based on reports about history of Boise City and its deceptive roots to the spiral, which is the whole, like, Michael, the spiral, this whole thing. Like, Michael is the distortion, which is part of the spiral. Okay, I need to remember when I found that out, and I was like, yeah, okay. And that means... And this whole deal is tricking the senses, which makes sense. I hate myself. Okay. But it's at the center of the Dust Bowl, which indicates another power. I don't know what the center has to do with things, but okay. adopts a somewhat frailer voice. She goes, well, I'm gonna Michael, as in Michael. They wouldn't make a third Michael, but I was holding out. I was holding out, going because I didn't want to seem like a fool. Okay. Okay, normal voiced. Okay. So North America is going to be the focal point for the buried. Like, doing what? Is the buried the event or something? I'm still not completely sold on the U.S. for the hunt. Are these things like, what are they doing? Are they like claiming parts of the world? Like, what are these things doing? The hunt seemed like, the one thing I remember with the hunt is the episode with the hunter. That's obviously the one where this dude went like, ha ha ha, hunting, and then these two people were like sleeping, and then he just hunted them down, like these people for sport. That's the one I remember. I don't know what other episodes would count under the hunt though. Oh fuck! Now I can talk about this, cause like I literally, this is the one thing I've successfully managed to like expel from my mind. I subscribed to the Rusty Quill channel on Rusty Quill podcasts on my channel, because I want to subscribe to the channels which I've done reactions to so they can show up in my channels list. I started to do that. I'm such a professional YouTuber, I know. But I subscribed to them, so I looked at the playlist to see what other series they've done, or I wanted to see if they had Magnus Archives episodes on the YouTube, because I didn't know what platforms the Magnus Archives was on. I didn't know if it was also on YouTube, even though it would make sense that it was always on YouTube, because a lot of podcasts are also on YouTube. But freaking, I look in the playlist for the Magnus Archives playlist, and it just says like it was like there was playlist for the Magnus Archives, but instead of being like just the whole playlist of the series, it said like the desolation. It's like the desolation stories, and it said underneath it said the buried stories, and I was like, I shut off, I tabbed out, I don't know. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with that? I do like the concept of like them being grouped in playlists, so you can like see which ones connect to which, and like group them together like mentally and see how they connect to each like entity, which is a cool concept. It's one that I'd like to do on my own though, but not now when I don't even know all of their names. At least let Gertrude Robinson tell me all their names first. Like every single like name drop we've ever heard is literally from Gertrude Robinson, or like there's been like one or two from Leitner, but like most of them are Gertrude, because she knows everything and she just casually talks about how much she knows stuff in her tapes. Oh my god. Okay. Jan Kilbride. Let me look up in the characters at episode list. Jan Kilbride. Okay, Jan the heck? Kilbride. No one? Okay. Kilbride with one L. Okay. Yes! Oh my god. It's from Observer Effect, the only episode which has mentioned people being off of Earth, which makes sense. Why I connected that to my head. It's the fucking not Observer Effect. Was it an Observer Effect? No, was it? It might have been. I think it's Observer Effect, the episode. I reacted to it. I remember that. Okay. Jan Kilbride was a crew member on the Daedalus. I almost called it the Nautilus because I'm an idiot. Daedalus. Which is the one that one guy was trapped on in a room in isolation forever, and then the Earth was gone. Simon Fairchild. Look, ooh, okay. Wait, what the hell? What does that mean? Okay, Gertrude is pinpointing locations for different entities, which we just learned the names of 2 of them. Thanks. My suspicions about Jan Kilbride. Once he's back on I thought it was a she, just because the name was Jan, like Janet or something. I don't know. It's something that could be easily. For the buried, however, I do have what I believe to be effective plan for me. She has plans related to the different entities. I'm going insane. Okay. Gertrude Robinson stops apocalypses on a daily basis. Okay. She has a plan, assuming that assuming that something that she thinks about Jan Kilbride is true, which she will confirm once he's on Earth. Okay. But there's 10 years yet before I can afford a conscience? Like, did she know she was gonna die in 10 years? What did she... Like, she had a bunch of stuff to do, and she couldn't have a conscience until 10 years from now when it was all done? Like, I don't know what... This is all gonna get explained later, but it's very interesting right now with all the details. Considering what's probably happened to him up there already. Was this happening to everyone on the crew of the Daedalus? Like, we know it was happening to that one guy who's getting screwed over in the isolation room, but did it happen to every crew member? I thought, like, they were in on it or something. That's why the names were listed. I thought they were going to be, like avatars, like the rest of these people. John freaks out because it's Michael. He said, I still can't figure out whose side she was actually on. Not in the archives, apparently. But I feel like she had good intentions, just like Leitner had good intentions. But, like, she didn't mess up as bad as Leitner. But like, she seemed like she was working with him. They seemed to both have good intentions. Gertrude, the archives probably are evil, and she tried to blow him up. She was trying to stop the stranger, which is also a good thing. She's never done. I don't think she's ever shown like that she was on the wrong side. I feel like and by the wrong side I mean like anywhere else but the side of humanity. I feel like. God, Jonathan Sims, the voice actor, he freaks out so well. What's his name? Johnny Sims. Johnny Sims really is good at like selling that freak out, that desperation. It's so good. I love your character because of this. He's so good at like portraying those feelings. I'm so invested. And then John says, I have to leave. And then Georgie's like, snap out of it, John! You literally need an emotional anchor or you're gonna go buck wild. And it's like, thank God someone told Jonathan Sims to stop acting like a stereotypical protagonist that everyone hates. Not that he's like actually acting like someone that anyone could hate, no. But he's like falling into that pitfall where it's like, I can't be next to you. And everyone in the audience is like, John, come on. It's so all the light bulbs burst. Yikes. Lisa's new management. Oh, frick! How did I forget that Jonathan Sims just got kidnapped by Bricken and Hope? I'm an insane person. I got so involved in the Gertrude freaking out. with the freaking the Bailey and the Hunt that I didn't freaking. He's getting kidnapped and by circus lady because whoops, your time's run out. You didn't get me the skin. You probably didn't even try. You're dead to me now. I'm sending my goons to capture you. Ringmaster in the shadows. I forgot to talk about the fact that after that episode, Return to Sender, which is an episode that I love, by the way, and I didn't get to react to on camera, Jonathan Sims reacted after the statement. Like, he was so frustrated, and one of the frustrated things he said is, like, as if you couldn't recognize a ringmaster standing there. How else was a ringmaster supposed to look? What do you mean you're pretty sure he was dressed as a ringmaster? It's a ringmaster! He was going insane. I love Jonathan Sims. Okay. Jonathan Sims gets freaking kidnapped. Okay. Next episode. Yeah. Okay. Moving closer. Maybe a little bit down. Hello. Okay. Still streaming. I'm still standing. But these bots in my chat, I mean, it gets me more view time, I guess. Thanks, bots. I guess. What are they saying? Like, those websites? I hope not. Okay. I was gonna yawn, but then I just burped. Okay. Next episode.
Do you want the dramatic stuff?
What the hell just happened? Why does it say at Mag 9 A Father's Love?
The Magnus Archives.
What? Okay, I'm on Mag 99. I click the next arrow, and it takes me to Mag 9 A Father's Love. I feel like I may have seen this episode before. Magnus Archives Spotify. Excuse me? Can you guys not register over 99 episodes? Okay. Literally let me watch the 100 episodes. This is a conspiracy. Spotify doesn't want me to watch the 100th episode of the Magnus Archives. Okay. Assorted live statements. Which is always a good sign for reaction-wise. Okay, still going.
The good stuff? Then you
Episode's still going. Okay. Oh my god, this audio is kind of loud. Okay.
The final chapter, starring Matthew Good and Teresa
What am I
Paul.
looking at?
And if you're thirsting for a thrill, get ready for the final season of Killing Eve, premiering February 27th. With AMC Plus, you
What
go
am I?
deep with
Okay,
the best
I
kind
was
of
gonna.
drama.
Oh, okay, I was
It's
gonna go to my
ad-free,
channel
on
and see
demand,
if it's
or wherever
working.
you
It's
want it.
working.
Sign up
Okay.
at amcplus.com and start
Let me look
watching
at this.
your
Let me
next
hear this.
obsession. AMC Plus, only the good stuff.
The new year is a great time to focus on what's most important to you, whether it's saving money by ordering.
Okay, the audio's okay. Me when I listen to my own stream on my stream.
Less
Okay.
takeout, learning to cook,
Okay, I
or
hate you. I hate ads. I'm sorry. I'm
Rusty
sorry.
Quill presents the Magnus Archives. Episode 100. I guess you had to be there.
Dude, that was a different tone. Jonathan Sims has never said a title with a different tone. It's always like dust to dust, like that, like a. But like he said the phrase, "I guess you had to be there," just like anyone would say, "I guess you had to be there." That hyped me up. I don't know why, because it was so different. Oh my god, that freaked me out. That's never happened before. He literally... Let me hear it. Let me hear it again.
The Quill presents the Magnus Archives. Episode 100. I guess you had to be there.
It's not that big of a difference, but after watching apparently 99 of these episodes, that was a lot. That's I just got sent apparently just by like a sudden slight shift in tone upward. Like I'm like freaking out. It's just because it's MAG 100, you know. That means I'm halfway through this series. Oh, disgusting. Ooh, I hate that. That means I'm almost. Oh my god, that means I'm halfway through it. That means I'll be done. I don't want it to be over. I'm gonna fucking. Okay. God, okay. Okay, let's go. I'm ready. Okay.
Sorry again that the archivist isn't actually in today, but I should be absolutely fine to take your statement if that's okay with you.
We're taking someone's statement. This is not in the description.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Right. Statement of Lynn Hammond, recorded 2nd May.
Moten has not taken a statement before.
What's this one about?
I saw a ghost.
Oh, okay.
Regarding
Very simple.
A ghost. Statement begins.
Ghost sighting. You could be super specific with it.
Sorry, what happens now?
Oh, well, I mean, you tell us what happened?
Well, yeah, I did. I saw a ghost.
No, I mean, you sort of tell a story.
I mean, true.
Yeah, the story is I saw a ghost.
Okay, but what was it like? You know, how did it make you?
How did it happen?
Feel?
It was scary, and it made me feel scared.
I guess this is why we need
Am I
John.
doing this wrong?
No, it's okay.
This is why we need.
Let's try this again.
I guess this is what happens when you try to take a statement without fancy alchemist powers. People are like, how do I describe this? I don't. I guess with fancy alchemist powers, people go like, it was a cold, dark night in late January. My brother, we had a fraught relationship, but I wanted to be with him nonetheless. This is what happens when Jonathan Sims is not here, I guess.
Again. When did you first see this ghost?
Oh God. About a year ago.
Anything more specific than that?
I mean, it's been a while. I can't really remember.
Okay. Where did you see the ghost?
My old flat.
Okay, great. Where's that?
Clapton.
Clapton. Okay. And what were you doing when you saw the ghost?
Well, I was asleep.
Huh?
Well, I mean,
saw a ghost when you were asleep.
No. Obviously, I woke up.
Right.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Ghost.
Right.
Well, first it was like a burning smell.
Oh, okay. So you.
Burning.
This happened a lot.
Yeah, a few nights.
Okay, right. So like you'd wake up in the night and you'd smell burning, and what did you do?
Well, I first checked that my house wasn't on fire.
Yeah, and then
just go back to sleep.
And when it happened again, you would.
Well, I mean, after a few times, I realised my house wasn't on fire, so I'd just go straight back to sleep.
Okay.
What did the ghost look like?
The ghost?
I mean, she was there.
So she. Okay. So describe the ghost to me. It's a woman, a girl,
Yeah, a young woman.
And what was she doing?
I mean, she was on fire.
Oh. You're really casual about this.
So she's on fire. So what did you do? You're waking up in the night and you're seeing a woman is on fire in your flat. So you.
I mean, what can you do? Like, she wouldn't be there for long.
Okay. So you didn't call the police or?
No.
I mean, it sounds a bit crazy, doesn't it?
Okay, so what is it that sort of made you, why are you here?
My friend told me that, you know, this is where you report stuff like that, so...
I mean, true.
Okay.
But you wasted a perfectly good tape, I guess, unless that was real.
Tape's on. Who are you?
I'm Smith.
Just Smith.
John Smith. John Smith.
John Smith?
My name's John Smith. John Smith.
Like that fake person in the anatomy class?
And why are you here?
Is this the 100th episode? That'd be great.
Well, I'm here because I have something to report. I'm worried.
Shouldn't you be going to the police, potentially?
I don't think they can help with this.
And so, what brings you here? What do you need help with?
Well, I've seen some things.
Right.
So I think I've heard your field. Found a few web pages a long time ago.
We'll advertise on web
Why is
pages.
specifically that you're here, Mr. Smith?
Sure. So you know Old Witch Tube Station?
I do.
It's not a tube station anymore. Obviously, it's abandoned now. But I was there with an associate. We'll call him Jeremy.
Right.
And we broke into the.
Is this this is probably this is something like every person watching the show has been wondering about forever, probably. When they like, everyone's wondering like, what did the bad statements sound like? What did the like really? What did the like we know statements like when Jonathan Sims reads them, they sound like this, and like when people read statements, it sounds like this. But what do they sound like? Like, what does it sound like a bad one? like we want to know. Like, what do they have to deal with on a daily basis? These assistants. This is great. Okay, let's go.
The tube station. 'Cause I wanted to have a look around because it's
What drove you to break into a tube station, Mr. Smith?
well, it's part of London's history. You know, it's public transport. It's interesting.
And you wanted to see the interesting things?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's still trains running through at the platform level, but the station isn't running anymore. It's been abandoned. So much of the things there are all in original condition. Like, they've still got the original adverts up and things like that.
Right, okay.
This guy's a nerd. Nerd.
Why specifically there, Mr. Smith?
Oh, I mean, we had some ideas about what might be down there. You know, it's not just the public transport stuff and the adverts. We thought it might be something a little bit more. I don't know, something worth investigating. You know, we were down there in the tunnels, and then the torches went out, and I think they took him.
They?
Yeah, them.
Okay.
Them?
Who are they?
Well, I mean, you must know. I mean, like, this is the Magnus Institute. I mean, like, you know this stuff, right? You know, the people who are down in the tunnels, you know.
People are down in the tunnels.
The mole men?
The government.
The government? In the tunnels?
Yeah, the government.
In the tunnels? The government in the tunnels? They live down there? Oh my god, I had no idea. Parliament? The hosting a meeting? In the tunnels? I had no idea. I had no idea how British government worked. Oh my god. They're hosting a little party in the tunnels. Oh my god, okay. I'm going insane.
They've got a holding facility down there. It's a secret holding.
Oh, you're not a nerd. you conspiracy theorist.
Robin Lennox? Well,
This is a perfect episode to leave off on before the break. This is such a treat for all the longtime fans. This show's gone on for, I guess, 100 weeks now. That's a long time.
May 20th, 2017, about a stone circle, I think. That's what you said.
So it started on a day when me and Jackie, we were walking. Jackie's my dog.
Okay.
The way she so quickly said, okay.
Before we go visit my mother for a roast, we were walking down, and are you much of a dog person?
What day was it?
So when would this have been now? Now this was about 2 weeks ago. So where are we now? Put it at maybe the 7th, I think.
Okay.
Realistic statement givers. They finally show up. They finally show up. Oh my god, I'm
down the South Downs, and in Loo, which like I said, is where my mother lives. So we were walking along. Just,
realism.
Run off the leash and just run, scour around the fields.
Okay, so you were walking.
Scour around the fields.
That's about noon.
In the South Downs, yes.
Yes, in the South Downs.
And off in the distance, something just caught my eye, and I have pretty good eyesight. I had had an eye test a few days ago. You know, one of those free ones that you get, and you just sort of go along just for the sake of it.
What did you see?
Okay, right. So I thought to myself that stone circle that wasn't there before. At least I thought it was a stone circle, but so me and Jackie went off to investigate. Jackie's quite a curious dog. That's quite a normal thing for Jack Russell Terriers to be sort of curious animals.
So you went to investigate.
He really likes talking about his dog.
So we were walking towards this what I thought was a stone circle. So I was sort of walking towards it, and I really noticed it got quite a lot chillier. So it was quite a sunny day.
Okay.
I hadn't taken a jacket. You know when you sort of look out the window and you're like, today's a jacket day.
So
right?
you saw this stone circle.
Oh yes, yeah.
Started walking towards it.
That's right. Okay.
And then
So yes, like I said, it was definitely a bit chillier. I don't think there was any wind or anything that day, but just sort of as I was walking towards it, felt the chill, and I felt Jackie sort of start to walk closer to me. She started to run off a lot less, as if she sort of, I don't know, maybe I just sort of noticed that, you know, when you sort of get a feeling for what mood a dog's in, when you sort of spend a lot of time around them.
What about this stone circle?
Oh, the stone circle. So I got closer, and I realised that although I hadn't seen the stone circle before, but the sort of texture of the rocks and maybe a bit of I don't know. They look quite old. They definitely look like they had been there for a long time, but I recall them definitely not being there because, you know, I've taken that route maybe 5 or 6 or a few times now. When was the first time I took that route? I think
so you don't remember seeing this before, but the rocks looked old.
Let me start again.
All right then. Statement of Brian Fentonson.
Oh, it's Finlandson.
Oh, right. Sorry, that's the handwriting here. So, statement regarding
spiders. But I mean, a lot of spiders.
Ah, good. A spider one.
What?
Date May 26th. And go on. Let's get this over with.
Is everything okay?
Yes, it's fine. Sorry, I just don't hold out a lot of hope for coherence.
What?
Our archivist is on leave.
I don't really like staying in one place too long.
Fine. Statement begins. That means get started.
So the spiders, I mean, they're all over my flat. There's like hundreds of spiders, and it's freaky. Like, they just don't act like spiders, and they're leaving like web all over my stuff, like on the sofa, and
are these real?
The microwave, like, that's weird, right? That's not how spiders normally are.
So let's
This man's really kind of calm about this. He's not really frantic. He's just like, this is really weird.
Weird spider.
A couple months? No, maybe a bit longer. Like, it started gradually, I guess. Like, you know, I don't like spiders, and sometimes sure there's
This
one
seems
in the
really.
bathroom, and there's a web
He
or
seems
something,
kind of
but
chill
that's
about this,
normal.
considering he seems very concerned, but he's also very chill. He's like, there's a lot of spiders. Why are there so many spiders?
Like a corner of every room, and it's freaky because there's like different types of spider and different, and they don't normally like gather in groups of different species. It's different species of spider, isn't it?
I'm not familiar.
But I feel like they're watching me.
What do you mean? Are they looking at
But they sort of move when I move, and like when I go into a different room, I feel like there's a flow of spiders to the same room, but they don't let me touch them, or if I try and whack them with a newspaper, like they don't let me get near. And the weirdest thing was when I asked an exterminator to come and look at the problem, they all disappeared. It's like the first time there've been no spiders in weeks, and then suddenly, as soon as he leaves, they all come back, and it's like something the newspaper, like they don't let me get near. And the weirdest thing was when I asked an exterminator to come and look at the problem.
They all just disappeared just to bully him.
There's been no spiders in weeks, and then suddenly, as soon as he leaves, they all come back, and it's like suddenly they're there again.
Was that maybe the first time there had been another person looking at your flat?
Well, I mean, I guess so, but no, because like
trying to pick
I
this
haven't
apart.
invited someone to come over because there's spiders and webs everywhere. But like, I mean,
and the
just
webbing.
the other day they webbed.
Okay, these actually sound kind of real in the sense that like these seem like things we've encountered before, like the things we've mentioned before, but they're just not in the usual coherent spaced out state. Like I'm pretty sure the point here, like generally, is that John is gone and literally given statements literally don't work anymore. Like speech given statements, they literally they're just not, they just don't work anymore because we need Jonathan Sims to use his magical monologue powers on people, which is kind of fantastic. Like these actually seem like kind of legit because like why would this guy make this shit up? Like it's not even like realistic. This isn't, you can't hallucinate spiders being in your apartment and making webs on everything for months. Like I don't think so.
Bedroom door shut. I mean that's weird, right? Like enough spiders to leave enough web to seal the door, and they trap me in there with all those spiders. Like that's not normal, right? That's freaky. That's supernatural. That's what you guys do, isn't it?
It does sound unusual.
Like the supernatural, right?
Like the supernatural, right?
I just wanted some help. Like I heard you guys. Like I thought if you know about the supernatural, maybe you could help me deal with this.
I really wish that was the case.
God.
Yeah, and then she reached out to me.
Oh, okay, right. So she reached out, and then.
We're back to the other statements.
Well, not a lot.
Right.
Well, not a lot. Right. Why can I hear that again? Can you run that by me again?
Oh, okay, right. So she reached out, and then what happened? She reached out. She saw what you do.
Well, not a lot.
Right.
The way he just said, right. It's right. It's not. It wasn't even like a right. It was like a right.
Then she just disappeared like normal.
I mean, she burned me a bit.
Oh, wow.
She's so casual about
Okay,
this.
Was there a lot of damage?
No,
Like, is that
just a few hairs. My right arm. I mean, they've grown back.
Oh, okay.
a few hairs, and then
She's very chill about this.
disappeared, and you.
I went back to sleep.
Okay.
Right. And then what happened? So you've been burned by this mysterious ghost. So what did you do?
I mean, I moved out.
And nothing since then.
Well, no, I've moved.
It's like it's obvious.
I don't suppose you've looked into like the history of the building or anything.
Why?
Ghosts?
Statement.
What?
Yes.
Head
Yeah, great.
scratching?
Thanks so much for coming. Really appreciate it. Yeah, if you head out by the way that you came in, there's a woman at the front desk. She'll take your details down,
Great.
and then we might be in contact about it in the future if we do any follow up and need to talk to you about any specifics again. But I probably won't.
You got everything then, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I think that's basically it. Thanks so much for coming in. Though we do appreciate it.
No, cool.
Sorry, is there something else that
No, I just thought maybe you would. I mean, do I get a piece of paper or something to
no,
say that I've done
fine.
it?
It's fine. Well, I mean, we keep an internal record.
I mean, is there like an invoice or something?
An invoice for.
I mean, just my friend Gav said that you guys, you need stories and you need people to come forward.
Yeah.
And you kind of you pay people for their ghost stories, so.
I think.
You fucker! What is wrong with you? You. I wonder why she's so casual. I hate you. Why are you here? I guess the things we have seen so far are kind of based on like primordial fears, and it makes sense why these things seem to kind of align with them. Gave her for the money. She made that shit up. I hate her.
Miscommunication.
Oh,
here.
right. Okay.
Yeah, we don't actually we don't pay for
right.
statements. This is more a documenting process than we don't use these for stuff outside of records. I'm really sorry.
Don't feel bad, Martin. She just wasted your time.
No, okay, but
She was really about to say that's why I came here. You didn't have to admit it.
Sorry. Let's see. I mean, I've got.
Martin!
You know what? You're alright.
No, please. I mean,
all right. Thanks, mate.
Martin.
Maybe not that much.
Okay, so just the way I came in.
Yeah, please.
Martin, why? You're just too nice. What's wrong with you? He felt so guilty. I feel like if I were in the same situation, I'd feel so guilty. I'd give them something too. But like, I know that's a stupid trait, Martin. I'm aware of how awful I am, but like, Martin, please. Yeah, anything to curb social awkwardness or like people's disappointment in me, I would do it. No, I can't kid Martin. That's awful. I'm sorry, Martin. Okay.
Look, Jeremy is somewhere under London right now having bioweapons tested on him. Yeah, and I know.
Oh yeah, I forgot that this one. It skipped out of my mind. This one does not sound real at all.
It's a fact.
I think you might possibly be looking for a different agency.
Well, I think so. I came here because
This guy's voice, it like he burst out of nowhere. I thought I was watching an ad. Like it was insane. Like what is this tone? Oh my god.
Massive government conspiracy, yeah. And what are you doing? You're just frowning at me skeptically.
It's possible you should take that to someone else, Mr. Smith.
Probably I should.
Tim frowning at someone skeptically. I love them all. These are the best characters.
People have always said to me that Jack Russells can be difficult dogs, but I've always found that as long as you sort of treat them right and you give them lots of
You keep talking about your dad.
You were in the spiral, and you heard an old man crying.
I was meandering around, and when you hear someone crying, but you can definitely sort of say there's an age in that voice. Like it sounded have you heard many old men?
So you were
crying?
following.
Yes, that's right. So you know how sort of at places like Hampstead Court where they've got those little hedge mazes, and rather than sort of bounding straight into the middle of them where you can just sort of walk over all the hedges, you have to sort of follow it through. It sort of put me in mind of that. I sort of imagined myself in exploring. So you
followed
this
the maze.
So I followed the. I followed the spiral round. And I could definitely hear this sort of old man crying, and I was definitely an old man because it really reminded me of this old chap I met once on a train going to Liverpool.
So what happened?
So as I was going round and hearing this old man, I suddenly realised that I was going to be late for my mum's dinner that she had planned.
But didn't you say it was about noon?
Well, that was the funny thing. So you see, I looked at my watch and I realised that 6 hours had gone by.
6 hours?
Yes, that's right. So at that point, I left.
I'm sorry?
Yes, so I would have been late for dinner. So
you left?
So I got out of the spiral and went to dinner.
Statement ends.
Resolved.
Is that all you need from me?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
You don't need anything. Do you want any more detail?
Object class resolved.
And I don't know what to do anymore. I think they were following me. I think they followed me here. I saw a spider in the basement outside, and the webbing, it's just a heavy webbing.
This guy is not calm anymore.
I don't know how I can keep. I just need. This is the first time I've been in a room where I haven't seen a spider, and maybe this is safe, but maybe they're outside. I just don't know.
Oh my god, this guy's really selling this for mental breakdown right now.
I'll get you some biscuits. I'll get you something. Just breathe for me. Okay, yes. Good.
Sorry, I know I shouldn't. I guess that's everything. I just don't. Oh. Hello? Sorry, did I? I don't know.
I feel so bad.
Should I just?
In a funny way.
Hello?
I'm so...
Excuse me. Do you work here? No, Hi.
Hello?
For Elias Bouchard. He runs this institute. I do have an appointment. I don't, I'm sorry, I was just, but everyone...
That's spooky. It just came out of nowhere.
Sorry, Brian Finlinson. Peter Lucas. Lovely to meet you, Brian.
Lucas.
Now, am I to understand you don't work here? No, I was just, making a statement.
I hope this guy doesn't get hurt.
That's probably for the best. Elias can be quite protective of his people. Never really understood why. I mean,
You're just gonna kill this guy?
The person you really have is yourself. Wouldn't you agree, Brian? I don't... What? Well, plenty of time to make your mind up.
What the fuck is that noise?
Sure. Now, if
I never understood this guy's affiliation. Like what's his entity?
You are sure you don't know where Elias Bouchard's office is? No. I'm sorry. Not to worry. I'm sure I can find it. And
This guy just teleported.
To get used to your new situation. What? Good luck, Brian. Yeah. Thanks. Oh.
Your new situation.
Hello? Hello?
What? Where'd he go? Did the guy just teleport away? Why did he say your new situation? The spider stuff? Because I'm pretty sure this guy managed to convince me that his story was real because of this. Like, he managed to convince me that, like, multiple of these stories were real when they turned out not to be. Just because this guy's story seemed kind of real because of the spider stuff.
To subscribe, view associated material, or join our Patreon, visit rustyquill.com.
This is a good episode to leave a break on. Oh my god. That was amazing. That was really good. That was great. That was great. Oh my god, that was fantastic. That was fantastic. I don't know what else to say. I love comedy. I love comedy so much. I'm literally insane. I love that. Interesting. the heck? I've gotten a life a Life 360 year in review. What? I have like a Life 360 wrap. What? Okay. Why is every app on the planet doing like a Spotify wrap? Okay. Whew. Okay. What did I say about that episode? I love that concept. Like they did point that out. They must have to deal with these kind of people all the time. Like it feels like come on, like with like wacky like written statements, you can just like those are the ones that John can just record in his computer easily. Like you can tell, but like with real people, like. There was the one with Melanie, like John tried to record it and then they had to redo it because it didn't record in his computer. So I guess by now they were using the tapes as like a precaution, you know, like a precaution. So like in that case, like just a bunch of random bullshit ends up on the tapes. The government, my dog, it's money, the spiral that you can just leave when you have dinner to go to. I don't know about that. Interesting. Old man, cough, voice, laugh. I forgot. That guy with the spiders. Maybe, I guess, Lucas. The Lucas family, we heard them all back then. That was the one time when that girl went to the funeral and they said, "We don't want you here," or something. And they all looked like blank-faced dudes or something. I don't know what the Lucas's affiliation is. I guess I never figured it out. Whenever I hear the name Lucas, I'm like, funeral family, funds the funds the Magnus Archives. I stop saying funds the Magnus Institute, and also funds the Magnus Institute, and also does stuff, I guess. Funds the Magnus Institute and may have something to do with that one ship story with that lady who worked on a ship and they sacrificed someone to something or something. I think that might have had something to do with the Lucas family because John couldn't investigate it any further because it like interfered with their sponsors or whatever. Ooh, interesting. I hate that at the end they don't do the continuity little blurbs anymore. Like they don't do like at the end like it says continuity, but before the spoiler thing it usually says like blank was mentioned this before in this statement and this statement. Why are there no more of those? I need them. Like for real. I guess you had to be there. I guess that's why it's called that. I got that. That's so funny. It's called I guess you had to be there because like they're so bad at explaining. Like that's what that means. That's what that phrase means. It's like I actually can't explain it. I guess you had to be there. Like the explanation isn't good enough because like you can't explain it well enough because like the situation's like like they gave such bad explanations. They're like, I guess you have to be there. It's like that's not the point of the statements. Oh my god. Okay, that's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. Guest voices. Matt and Tim, Sheila, and Melanie attempt to take statements with varying degrees of success. And it describes this as This is what I said. And it says straight out, as the archivist is not present, neither is the beholding power that allows statement givers to describe their experiences smoothly in the form of a story. They literally made their writing. They literally made their writing style into a story beat. Like, literally, it's canon that, like, John has the power to make people give well-structured and detailed monologues. Like, that's literally part of John's power. Like, literally, to make people give podcast-appropriate monologues of their life stories. Like that's part of his. It's I guess it structures people's like experiences in a way that makes sense, like linearly, which is a weird power to have. I have no idea what the beholding wants. Like, why does it need statements? Like, if it sees everything, or if its whole deal is knowing stuff, like, why does it like get off on like it's like us like disciples like learning about stuff and knowing stuff and stepping into other people's shoes? Like, why does it need that? Like, why is that its thing? Like, why? I don't know. It feels different than like saying like why does the spiral like to confuse people so much? Like, that's just its thing. But like the beholding is its thing. Like, I guess it's like the way Martin phrased it. It seemed like it was always watching and stuff, and like not always watching. It like these things feeding it like by giving statements. But why does like reading statements feed this thing? Like, what does that have to do with seeing? I mean, I can see it in that like its disciples or whatever are seeing it, like are seeing these statements, seeing the unseeable, seeing the unknown. But like, how does that fuel it? Like, what's its like base like desire? What's its thing? You know, what does it do to people? Why does it like? I guess that's what we've been defining like every other entity by what it does to people. But the beholding, like, we don't like actually, we know it sees and it watches, but like, what does it do to people, you know? So far, what it's been doing to people by our main characters and like how they serve it, I guess, it's like by hearing people out, by by knowing their stories, like in a way that's like mentally legible, like why do the stories being like concrete and like well structured matter to the beholding, you know? I guess it matters so that its disciples can understand them in a way that's like in depth and like so they can feel it as though they were there. I guess that does make sense, that that's how it would work. But like, why is like the disciples being like learning about stuff and knowing things feed the beholding? Like, why is it like, cause like it feels like, I guess if people being confused feeds the spiral, then people knowing things feeds the beholding. I guess that makes sense. I guess I can work that out. But I would like more detail. I like more of a concrete answer, you know? Like I like for the spiral I can say it likes confusing people. You know, it likes checking the senses or whatever they said. You know, it likes confusing people. It likes befuddling people in scary ways. Oops. The stranger, it likes, I don't know. It likes scaring people, but also likes being fake with it. But it seemed like not them liked scaring people with the fakeness, that uncanny aspect. It seemed like it liked making people confront the uncanny. That's one thing. I don't know. Interesting. I was asking, why is one of the beholding? I guess it's just for them to understand it, for them to be made into understandable chunks. Offers her some small change. Martin, stop being relatable. I hate that. You're so ridiculous. I hate it. John Smith. Oh yeah, this guy was like kept giving fake names, like he was in a YouTube video, like animated story. Oh, and he was giving fake names because he's like a conspiracist, and like he thinks people can track him and stuff. It's excruciating detail. I guess that's what he was doing, but he was talking about his dog a lot too. Specifically his dog in detail. Yeah, spiral hedge maze. A stone circle he had never seen before, and he went into a hedge maze, and then he left. Wait, he was in the maze for 6 hours, and then he left? Okay, this is... Is this paranormal? I don't know. Maybe he's just weird. Like, there's nothing explicitly paranormal in this one. Like the other ones, which usually turn out terrifying. This one guy just walked in a place, like, lost a large amount of time and then left. like nothing bad happened to him. Like, it's like, not as though something bad has to happen to every person who encounters something paranormal, but that seems kind of the case also. But, like, more like nothing explicitly, like, unreal happened to you. Like, you just, I don't know what to say about your thing. And Brian Stevenson. Melanie says that we need John to get statements. Spider problem. This guy was maybe really sad, actually. Like, he seemed, like, kind of calmed down about it, like, at the beginning, but as time went on, he had, like, a mental breakdown, and I felt really bad. He's like, I've never been in, this is the first room I've been in months that's not full of spiders. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh my god. No, he's like, that was so sad. Brian begins to panic. Melanie gets him tea and can breathe. Peter Lucas appears as Brian looks there. What the heck? There's a spoiler there at the bottom. It's presumably sending him to blank, and there's like a full-on word there, and I'm like, excuse me, that's not. There's a spoiler warning at the end of your summaries where you give the spoilery bits that relate to future episodes. Why did you include that? That is the first, like, spoiler that has shown up in one of these summaries. Like, I've read every single one. Why did they choose to do this now? I don't know what that place is. I have never heard of it before, I feel. This guy's name? Lucas. I have to look that up in the characters episode tab, because I want to see what episodes he's been. Lucas. Oof. Oh, Peter Lucas, Captain of the Tundra. I was right, it is that guy. Evan Lucas, the fiance and the family. The Captain of the Tundra, which sacrificed the guy. Onus, what the fuck? Okay, owner of Solus Shipping PLC. Conrad Lucas, head of the Isolation Project. I knew that. I knew it. It was one of the people on the data list was, like, who funded the data list. One of them was Simon Fairchild's deal, and one of them was a Lucas person. Nathaniel Lucas invested in the data list project. Okay. Peter Lucas is Captain of the Tundra again in that one episode. I don't know which one. Okay. Mordecai Lucas, Jonathan Magnus's friend. Not Jonathan. What the fuck? I just saw Jon and went Jonathan. Okay. Jonah Magnus's friend. The Admiral, Georgie's cat. Oh, that was John's cat. I went like, that makes more sense because, like, he lives there, and it's like John just took his cat. John just took his cat to Georgie's place. No, it's Georgie's cat. That makes more sense. But it's called the Admiral. It's like a little general or something, like the Admiral, not just Admiral. It's the Admiral. It's beautiful. Okay, and it loves him a little bit. It like just in the way a cat loves a person. It loves him. You know, look at him with a cat. Okay, Lucas. What the frick? Spoilers. Okay, Jesus, come on, guys, come on. I'm on episode 100. Like, you, like, why are you referencing things from future episodes in the wiki for episode 100? I'm going insane. There was one bitty of plot in here. It was this guy going like, whoop. get used to your new situation. He did say. It did sound like he said someone's him somewhere. He did go like hello, hello, hello. So it did seem like he was in an unfamiliar place, but also I was holding out hope that he wasn't, and he just said, and this guy just went by. He had like a weird crackly sound. He was like a crackly dude. Like he had a. It wasn't like Michael's distortion in the tapes. It was like a like he had like he was like walking on lightning or something. It was weird. I never heard that sound effect before. Have we? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, the spiders thing sounds paranormal. Like, we know spiders are a big deal. And then... Okay, what else was I gonna say? To this guy. The Lucas, we know they're related to the archives. I mean, the Institute. So, whatever the Lucas family is serving, whatever entity they're serving, it's like it apparently has a good relationship with the beholding people. Let's go. I love the intergroup dynamics here with like the inter like follower dynamics where there's like different groups working with each other, because like the Desolation appears to be working with the Stranger for a bit for something. And, like, it was like, what? And then people were like, what? And it was, like, interesting. And they all worked together to, like, get to, like, free all of their books from Leitner's library. That's epic. It's really cool. I like thinking about them in different contexts, about how they interact. Lightning crackled his way in. Ah, rip that man! What happened to him? I hope nothing bad. But that guy was so sad. Oh yeah, okay, what I was gonna say is that Lucas came in and he was like, oh, I'm so glad you're not one of Elias's assistants. He also said like something, that was probably a character trait of his, like that he defined. He was like, well, doesn't he know the only person to rely on is yourself? Like, dude, aren't you part of like a gigantic family or something? No, I guess, I don't know. This guy is actually every single one of his family members. So like just like Elias is Jonah Magnus. Wink. Okay. I don't know. Weird shit. This guy's like, okay. So he said, I don't know. Like he's like, I'm so glad you're not one of the assistants, 'cause like he said that like he walked in this room and he was like he had to kill someone for some reason. He was like he teleported into this room and going like, whew, I'm so glad the first person I saw that I have to murder for some reason isn't an assistant. I'm so glad, cause that guy would get mad at me. It's like, what? Look, my ears just popped. Oh my god, what's happening? Weird. Okay. Something in my ear. That's weird. Okay. Okay. I feel my right ear feels super weird. Okay. So why did he would like, I'm so glad you're not an assistant, because like Elias gets mad at me when I kill his assistants and stuff. And he just like whooped him, and I was like, do you just need to do that sometimes? Do you just need to you just do, like, why did you like need to do that? Like, why? Just, I don't know. It's okay. Yeah, we have no idea what this guy's deal is. Like, at least with like Simon Fairchild, like we haven't heard anything about Simon Fairchild for a while, but like we know he's probably with the Vast, but like you know, we know he's with the Vast. You know, we know that what he's connected with. We know that in every single story that he appears in, the ground disappears. Ah, where's the ground? You know? So, like, that happens. Like, basically. Like, that's his thing. Like, he has a thing. Like, he has a clear theme throughout his, like, stories that he shows up in. This guy, the Lucas family, I have no clue. There was, the girl, she showed up at a freaking, like church or something in the fog, and she was getting caught up in the fog. And then there was like the ship, there was also fog, I guess. What is these guys' things fog? Like, there was the ship, and then we sacrificed a guy to the fog, and then there's the spaceship that they funded, which didn't have fog. So what happened? Like I don't know. I don't know what this guy's like deal is. Like, you know, like I'm not gonna call him the fog guy. Like, that's only happened twice. Silent Fairchild happened 3 times. Like, I can call him the ground disappearing guy. And also because I like free fall and I like the continuous like theme. But like interesting. But yeah, I'm starving. I have to go. That was cool. This was a cool episode. There's a hilarious episode. I love it. I'm just good reaction. Funny things get good reactions, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you. Goodbye. Signing off into the next dimension. End of that.